Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Today, we're gonna be covering none other than Baine Bloodhoof. I think it's important to understand Baine as a character in light of the new expansion BfA coming up. He's not been portrayed to be a high-profile character in the game, but he's often proven to be a significant factor behind the scenes in conflicts between the Horde and Alliance. So I thought that now would be the perfect time to discover a little more about our lovely Tauren Chieftain, and how he might play an important role in the events to come. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, he's going to be getting a nice new updated model for the next patch 7.3.5. Looks really awesome, all very tribal and high mountain Tauren-like. So here are 3 really interesting things that you might not know about Baine. Number 1. Baine has actually saved Garrosh's life before. Everyone knows that all the Horde leaders pretty much despised Garrosh. Everyone also pretty much knows that Baine is the son of Cain, who I still can't get over because he's such an epic legendary figure, and that Garrosh kinda murdered his father, treachery or otherwise. Garrosh has also been explicitly portrayed in-game to be against all the sacred traditions, cultures, and values that the other races of the Horde upheld, most notably those of the Tauren. So Baine has more reason than most to really hate on Garrosh. Nevertheless, there was an event whereby Baine goes out of his way to save Garrosh pretty much from the brink of death. This story occurs in the short novel Baine Bloodhoof, as our fathers before us. While Garrosh is warchief, he begins to make demands of resources upon his Horde brethren. Mulgore, the homeland of the Tauren, is signaled out for its pristine sources of water. Why though would Orgrimmar require water from Mulgore? Upon being questioned, Garrosh admits to Baine that the goblin operations and their industry have tainted much of the water sources of the surrounding area. Following a heated debate, Baine agrees. Shipments of water soon arrive to Orgrimmar, and the warchief is satisfied. However, brutal raids on the water caravans soon occur, of which the culprit is discovered to be none other than the Quillboar, the race of pigmen that have occupied much of Mulgore and the Barrens. Garrosh is, of course, enraged and vouches to squash all the Quillboar into the ground. Baine tries to convince him that a diplomatic solution may be better, and that they may be more than meets the eye. He proposes that the Quillboar may be doing this out of desperation, in need of water of their own. Garrosh haughtily dismisses this. He prepares a regiment of elite Cockron warriors and sets out to destroy the Quillboar nest on his own. Gorehowl in hand, Garrosh and the Cockron make quick and ruthless work of the Quillboar in their tunnels. However, an ambush launched by hundreds of the beasts as Garrosh and his troops swarmed over. Garrosh himself was disarmed of Gorehowl in the battle. Packed into a corner, he prepares to fight to the death. At this instant, however, Baine, Hamul, Rune Totem, and the Sunwalkers arrive and turn the tide of battle. Gorehowl is retrieved and Garrosh is saved. Demonstrating the power of the Earth Mother, Hamul releases a giant river from an underground well. The Quillboar are sated of their water needs, assuring that no more attacks will be made on the Tauren people. Out of the battlefield, Garrosh, for once, is silent. This event is really revealing to us of Baine's character. He went out of his way, putting himself and his own people in harm's way, to not only save the orc that murdered his father, crapped on his religion, but also outright defied his leadership within his own lands, Mulgore. Patience, generosity, and courage come to mind, very much a chip off the old block. Out of all the leaders of the Horde, he might prove to be the pillar of stability and reason, so much very required during such heated times. Number 2. Baine not only sought out help from the Alliance, but also helped them back in return. Following Cain's death, the Grim Totem tribe, led by Magatha Grim Totem, takes over Thunderbluff and Mulgore. Baine makes his escape to Camp Torajo. However, his potential allies at this stage are few. Garrosh's allegiance at this point is of course unclear, with no one yet having determined whether or not he intentionally killed Kain. The Forsaken were unable to help, as at the time Garrosh had his loyal Cochrane patrolling the Undercity and overseeing Sylvanas. The Blood Elves were far away, and the Darkspear Trolls numbered too few. Realizing that he could not call upon friends, Baine actually decides to ask aid from an honourable enemy, Jaina Proudmoore. While there, Baine unexpectedly meets none other than Prince Anduin Wyrn, heir to the throne of Stormwind. After an initial uneasiness, Baine warms to the young man. His sadness and churning emotions at all that has transpired causes great empathy in Anduin. In an act of friendship, he actually gives Baine the great hammer Fearbreaker, an ancient Bronzebeard heirloom given to him by King Magni Bronzebeard. This act is extremely significant as it shows Anduin's absolute trust in a Horde leader. The weapon is imbued with healing powers. Indeed, when Anduin and later Baine took up the weapon, the light seemed to flow through them from it, showing that the weapon liked them and thought them worthy. Baine promises to treasure it always. Jaina is moved by this gesture and agrees to provide Baine monetary support in his efforts to bring down Magatha and the Grim Totems. The rest, as they say, is history, with the Theramore gold financing the technical and martial skill of mercenaries and some good old goblin support. Baine manages to defeat the Grim Totem and wrest back Thunderbluff from their control. However, the story doesn't end there, as Baine would soon return the favour. Upon learning about Garrosh's plan to invade Northwatch Hole and destroy Theramore, Baine would actually speak out directly against Garrosh, angrily stating that Jaina Proudmoore did not deserve such treatment when she had clearly helped out the Tauren when others in the Horde did not. I would just like to re-emphasize this point again. Baine would speak out in support of an alliance leader during a Horde military meeting. In the events leading up to and during Battle for Azeroth, I can only guess and hope that Baine will have a significant impact upon the Horde's direction. Garrosh evidently would not be swayed, and the invasion of Northwatch Hole and Theramore was inevitable. The first significant point to note here would be that following the fall of Northwatch Hole, Baine actually orders his people to not desecrate any of the fallen Alliance soldiers. His respect for the enemy and his values of honor that leaders like Kain and Saulfang hold dear is very much evident. The second, and the main point, would be that he secretly informs Jaina of the impending attack. He also requests that Fearbreaker be given back to Anduin, as he no longer felt he deserves to wield the weapon due to his part in Northwatch's fall. Unfortunately, Baine never knew of the mana bomb that Garrosh was going to use, and Theramore was still tragically wiped out. When Jaina returns to Theramore for the last time, she finds the mace undamaged. She takes it with her, and Anduin would be later seen wielding the mace during Garrosh's trial. And so from these events we can again see that Baine is a leader who places dignity and loyalty above race and faction. I think that to perceive this as him returning the favour for Jaina and Anduin's aid in reclaiming Thunderbluff, and that it was tit for tat, is a gross oversimplification. He truly does believe in diplomacy, patience and understanding over aggressive actions. Again, as Battle for Azeroth approaches, a time where military plans against the opposing faction are abundant, I think that we are all excited to see how Baine's outlook might impact the Horde's direction. Number 3. Baine defends Garrosh during his trial. What's that? Not only does he save Garrosh's life, but also defends him during his trial? Yes, you heard that correctly. Following the events of Mists of Pandaria and the Siege of Orgrimmar, Garrosh is sentenced to trial on Pandaria. This story is very much detailed in the novel War Crimes. The trial is attended by notable figures such as the August Celestials, Pandarian, Horde and Alliance leaders. While Baine may be the youngest of the Horde leaders, he was asked by Vol'jin, the new warchief, and the rest of his fellow Horde leaders, excluding Sylvanas, to represent Garrosh as his defender. However, Baine did not wish to do so. Why would he? As we've previously seen, he has all the reason in the world to hate Garrosh. Churning with conflict, he returns to his homeland and consults with none other than his father. And these are the words he hears. "Answer this, and you will know what to do. If it grieves you that I was slain by treachery, can you then do anything but strive for perfect truth and integrity? Even, perhaps especially, when it does not come easily, can you not do your utmost to honor this role that has been given to you?" These words spur Baine on to defend Garrosh to the best of his ability, even if he may not personally like it, as it was the right and honorable thing to do. And that's why Baine Bloodhoof leads and is viewed with the same respect, admiration and devotion his father held. He's seen what the path of violence, of betrayal, of treachery brings. He's seen what kind of heartbreak and sorrow it leads to, and it's a path down which he is unwilling to let himself or his people tread. When asked for his advice, he will give the best he can give. When asked for his opinion, he will give it directly and honestly. And when anyone asks where the Tauren people will go from here, Baine might not have an immediate answer. But the Tauren rest easy in the knowledge that their leader will guide that journey with a gentle, wise hand, at once familiar and far younger than they remember. For Baine is every inch his father's son. As someone who treats both friend and foe with respect, whether on or off the battlefield, as someone who favours diplomacy and only looks to violence as the very last resort, and as someone who has supported members from the Alliance and the Horde, Baine is very much his father's son, and I cannot wait to see what kind of impact he will have in the upcoming war. I hope you enjoyed that short synopsis of Baine. If you'd like to see more of such character videos, just give this video a good old thumbs up to let me know. Thanks for watching, and see you in Azeroth.